Hey you guys, I want to have a serious conversation with y'all. A lot of strange events have happened over the years that we all would never have ever expected in our wildest dreams and nightmares. Whether we all believe in the same things or not, or differ in opinion on what is real and what is not, we can all always learn from each other's view. It tells us what other options or thoughts can be formed from one thing, and wildly seemingly all from the same thing. We can all also agree, though, that yes, times have changed dramatically. I have been researching and deep diving into some old events and articles, and yes, even some old ass tweets. Some may not agree or might even despise what I'm about to say and admit, but y'all are here for someone else's opinion or thought on a topic, and I'm going to give you just that. News in 2020 had come out about a so-called illness and where it came from in its birth. Years later, mainstream media, who were the same people who tore apart the idea and any person who claimed to think the same about where it's had originated from, to now admitting it has been proven as fact that it was all true all along. And in politics, same thing can be said about a certain someone's laptop, in which that was denied, covered up till now. I actually hate to say all this, but we have been lied to, fooled, and kept out of the loop of many things, trivial and massively important, and enough is enough. Look, what we all have found out over the years about some of these famous people we've loved, looked up to, or have been celebrated by millions all over the world. Some of them turned out to be horrible, harmful people. I even want to live my own life to the fullest, and I can't. Like most, we could barely afford our bills, food to put on the table, and necessarily daily or medical needs. This is not the country we have been raised to believe as free and welcoming. To be honest, I want to be a mother and have a child, and I can't. This is extremely heartbreaking to me as I am in my 30s, but I just can't with the way this world is. It would not be fair or right to bring a child into all this, as well as not be able to give all the needs it shall need and deserves. Of course, the child would be spoiled in love and care, but that cannot keep them fed, dressed, educated, clean, and safe, always. This is my personal stance for myself, not anyone else, but I want it to be at a time where the world is a bit safer and on track with everything. Right now, it's all a mess. The justice system, school education system, the news, human rights, everything has gone to complete shit. The economy is trash and no one can afford anything. We are all slaves to the elitists of the world who band together to make them more rich and stuff their pockets with our hard work and our pure dedication. Not all wealthy people are evil, but I'm sorry, most and many are. We have been tricked all our lives from day one on many things. We are entitled to the truth. I hope you all continue to grow and expand with me on this journey. I plan to cover more stories and old events that not many have talked about or have been forgotten, because simply if we have learned anything, it is that nothing should be forgotten. Painful, sad, horrible even. It all is to tell us something, maybe teach us something. But everything should be kept documented and recorded. And with that said, I'm Leenda, and this is all for the record, Your Honor.
say good buddies, okay? They're gay.
Who?
Both. Diddy and Ross and Khaled. They're all gay, okay?
DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, and P. Diddy?
Yeah.
They're all gay?
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
Khaled is a Hamas supporter. Okay?
Who supporter?
Hamas.
Hamas. Yeah.
Sorry, I said it wrong.
No.
Hamas supporter, okay? I had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would masturbate, tell me what to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters, and I heard a lot.
Oh, hidden in plain sight.
It's hidden.
I think I see what you're saying.
Okay, how do I know this?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. How do you know this?
Do you know Sean Combs?
Puff Daddy?
Yeah.
P. Diddy, whatever.
Me for saying, hey, I can't be anti-Semitic if I'm a Semite. Because I am. Because that's who we are. Black people we don't have a flag. Our history's been stolen from us. You go to the African American Museum, it starts in slavery. It doesn't start before then. They don't talk about Mansa Musa. They don't talk about us being here before. So I want to read this text out to you again, right? Because people need to not forget this. So when I put up the tweet, I was going back and forth with Harley saying, hey, I'm angry. I'm angry at how these Jewish business people have done me and so many of my friends. Are they doing? Can you tell them to be quiet? Yeah.
Excuse me, estamos haciendo un video, por favor. Gracias. Thank you.
She's still talking.
Let me ask.
That's it.
Thank you.
So, and to this date, right? Y'all done seen everything you proven. I got kicked out of the banks. Ari Emanuel asked all these businesses to stop doing business with me. Now, yeah, I was in negotiation with Adidas because that was my issue. They were getting lawyers to sign over my IP, different things without me being aware of it, like people signing on my behalf. And this is part of the problems I had with Adidas. So now the world has got to see how Adidas was as a partner. The fact that they would attempt to steal my designs. That's happened a lot in history, right? But now y'all get to see it in real life. Like, and that's the difference. Like, let's read this Harley text out loud when he was threatening me, you know, forcing me to apologize, you know, about the frustration. And no one ever said, okay, this is what you're doing. Even the fact that TMZ is going to say Kanye West, right? And my name is legally Ye now. It's always some form of disrespect. No matter if you're the richest black man or what happens. What's up, bro? You part of this?
Sorry, it's ballet.
This what?
It's ballet. He's looking right now. Oh, ponte un poquito atrás. Gracias. Thank you.
Just go over there, man.
De allá, por favor.
It's just that he was a part of the whole making noise over there. Alright, so let me read these Harley texts. This is how he was threatening. This is a trainer, but come to find out, he was actually Canadian intelligence, but this is my trainer. So this shows you the kind of handlers that are around the superstars in California, right? So it says, I'm going to help you one of a couple ways. First, you and I sit down and have a loving and open conversation, but you don't use cuss words. And everything that is discussed is based in fact, and not some crazy stuff that dumb friend of yours told you, or you saw in a tweet. Second option, I have you institutionalized again, where they medicate the crap out of you, and you go back to zombie land forever. Play date with the kids just won't be the same. This is the way a Hollywood trainer was talking to me to force me to go and like apologize, right? But even though they ended the deals and you know, Farrakhan said, hey, you know, did he really ever have it? Let me explain to Farrakhan what that meant. My contract for Adidas was for 4 more years. My royalty was $500 million a year. That's what I meant when I said the $2 billion was lost in a day. Because of the negotiation with Adidas, I wanted to negotiate something where it's like, okay, you guys, you'll take the Yeezy, but we still get the royalties. And people saw, it's like when we dealt with George Floyd, different things, I'm the one put the money up. You know what I'm saying? I put $2 million. I always support it in every one of these situations. So you think about if Harley was part of intelligence, right? What kind of people you think are surrounding my kids? What kind of people you think are in that house right now? My kids go to Sierra Canyon. It's a Jewish school that doesn't teach Christianity to these Christian kids. At Christmas time, they're teaching Kwanzaa to black kids. They say, hey, this is your Christmas. This is all indoctrination. This is all mind control. You gotta understand, like I don't believe I'm putting myself at risk because I think God uses me for a time like this. He put me in this situation and had y'all follow me from George Bush Don't Care to Beyonce Had the Best Video to now. For some reason, y'all are interested. Juju said, YSL, but go bump. Y'all niggas always looking like y'all are interested for some reason. And they wanted to medicate me every day. You realize, like, they could have just switched to medication and I wouldn't be here. And on the news, they would have said it was because of a mental issue, right? Yeah. I ain't never been back to the hospital since 2015, but every time they say I'm crazy, it's just when I'm saying the truth. So what's the crazy part, really? What's the crazy part, really?
They can't scare you, they can't control you, they try to suppress you, but that's how they try to categorize.
They can't control. You get what I'm saying? They can control Shaq. They can control Charles Barkley. They can control LeBron James. They can control Jay-Z and Beyonce.
But not you, man.
But they can't control me. You see, it ain't no name I won't name. Exactly. It's up.
Not you.
You know what I'm saying? And just for Minister Farrakhan, I love you, but the way you read that, I took that as a slight. You know what I'm saying? I'll take no disrespect from nobody. So let's get on the phone and let's talk that out. I don't care who you are. I ain't taking no slice from nobody, right? I ain't taking no slice from nobody. It's God. That's the only person that I serve. My mama ain't here. My mama was sacrificed.
Me too.
You understand?
Yeah, I'm appreciate
Michael Jordan, what about him? His daddy, right? Bill Cosby, his son, right? Dr. Dre, his son. You're out in Hollywood, a lot of people come up missing. Feels like it might be a lot of that in order to control, traumatize. They want to monetize and traumatize. And God loved me. You understand? They hit me. Gap, Adidas, all that away. Still, Forbes, who hate me, right, had the right net worth 400 million. Jesus is king. God loved me.
That's more important thing in life.
That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? And this truth is going to be heard. Y'all can't send none of y'all meat mills, y'all puppies, y'all little bluesies, none of these names. None of these people that have to listen to y'all because they have legal. I never killed nobody, right? I'm the pussy that never killed nobody, right? But that means I can say whatever I want and not go to jail. And even if they did figure out a way, I'm still not backing down from what I said. It's Jewish people that did bad business. I'm Semite, so I can't be anti-Semitic. They stole our history from us. They stole who we are, and it's up. In Jesus' name, amen. Y'all have a good night.
Good night.
The NFL thing is completely ridiculous. It's been making me laugh for a while, but now it's so boring I don't even laugh anymore. So the precise moment in question, and you can actually freeze frame this, as many media outlets have. Yes, the frame you're looking at basically has my middle finger in the foreground. And if you find the larger picture where it zooms out, there is a row background scenery of 10, 15 cheerleaders, young black females that we, Madonna got from a local high school in Indianapolis, and they're all under 16. And if you look at them, they're wearing cheerleader outfits, hips twisted in the air, legs wide open, and in this very sexually provocative position. So now they're scapegoated me into figuring out the goalposts on what is offensive in America. Like, is my finger offensive, or is an underage black girl with her legs wide open more offensive to the family audience? And that's basically what it comes down to. And it's a massive waste of time, a massive waste of money. It's a massive display of, just powerful corporation dick shaking. They want me on my knees and say sorry so they can slap me on my wrist and, basically say it's okay for me to promote being, sexually exploited as a female, than to display empowerment, female empowerment, through being punk rock. So that is what it boils down to. And, I'm being sued for it.
Not well. It's at the bottom of the curtain. You look here and there. We don't really know if that's anything. We'll pick up the screw, but we've been holding the screw, but we got something in there.
I am Instagramming live to show you that I'm not hinged, freaking out. Yes, a little bit, because I'm a mother. So I am. And you would too. And anybody who doesn't understand that is not a mum. And that's that. So, yes, last night I got an email from my visa processing place saying, hey, it could take up to 9 months, and I've already waited 2 months. Yeah, if you had to wait a whole year to get into the US to see your kid, and you have to make a choice between education and your time, and what the government is deciding to do for no reason, yeah, you would ask questions. You would ask questions. And really, I got on Instagram Live to talk about The only counter thing that anyone can say to me right now is go, oh, aren't you anti-black, to turn these people against me. And that is the blanket they've always hidden behind, because this is a very sensitive issue. I haven't replaced my phone yet from the last Instagram live. Yeah, I just don't want to stay on here too long, but I want to say, for anyone who's got the question of like, hey, you know, this is racism, and it's like, it's not. I am a mum who's trying to get into the US to go and see my child. My child happens to be made up of the family who are currently at war in a different country, okay? And on the other side, that's the political side to why it might not be processed so quickly in the visa office of the government that they fund and campaign for. But it's about the fact that also Ben has got the black card, and he always get it out against me, and it's not that. Like, Jay-Z did not choose not to help me at the time because I'm Indian, and he doesn't help Indians, and he chose Ben because he's black. It's not true. Jay-Z chose to stay out of it and keep quiet and take himself out of the picture, and you know, and I left Rock Nation because of course Jay-Z has to choose money. Jay-Z will always choose money, and that was the point. Like, I don't expect Jay-Z to help me, but I didn't know about those boundaries and those lines and about money until I experienced that. So until it hit my personal life in that way that involved my child, I did not know how much love for money, or of course respect, even, because Jay-Z has to respect the family that gave him Def Jam. If somebody gave you Def Jam and made you an executive of Def Jam, are you going to choose the mum and the child, or are you going to choose the boss? So this is not about race. Please leave race out of it. And this is important for me to clear this up for all the black people out there, that Jay-Z did not pick me because I am not black and Ben is black. That's not what happened. Jay-Z picked the family that put him on. And that is not Ben. That was Ben's dad, who's a different fucking race. And that is that. I just wanted to clear that up for you guys. So that's one thing on the race issue. The second thing is about the vaccine thing. I was specifically talking about permission. I think when it comes to a child's body, until that child is 18, both parents should have a right to decide what happens to that child, unless you are completely beyond incapable as a human being, and you're in, you know, you're a severe, I don't know, incapable to raise a child, and which is not the case, because I work and I take care of people and I do all of these other responsible things. Looking after my child has not been a problem. So yes, both parents should have a say in what happens to a child's body, especially during a government that campaigns so hard about your body, your choice and rights and all of this stuff. What happens to a child? What happened to the parents' rights on that child? So no, I support equal rights for both parents to have a say if both parents are deemed capable and responsible people. And that's what I was talking about. It was about permission, which is it's also by court that we both have the right, you know. So that is that. And I do feel bad that my child has to experience this during his birthday week, but I just got the email and I can be patient, and I have been, because I know I have to be patient, because he's been in school in America for 2 years. So, you know, it's not about patient. And also, I moved to America in this time so that I can be closer to my child while education was happening in America. But while the education was happening in England, you know, it's not difficult for his dad to move to London, but that never happened. So in that sense, I am doing a lot more. So I just wanted to clear those things up, that this is a unique situation because whoever has the authority to decide my visa, what are they influenced by in making this decision? Are they influenced by, you know, obviously the person who's making the decision on my visa was not there 4 years ago. So it's a new person. This person's probably a lot younger than me, probably super like prejudice, probably racist, and probably is educated by all of these like fake movements and divisions or narrative that's being painted in the last 4 years. Of course, if you filled yourself up with all of this BS that's happened in the last 4 years, you would also have problems deciding what is right. You know, you won't be in a good place to put a mother and a child and a father in a row and decide what the right thing to do is. You would not. You will be 100% influenced by your racist ideologies, your national identity, you know, your ethnic whatever, like preference, your preference for finances and money and power. Those are the things you will be influenced by. This is why people like me are constantly kept in the chat, because we have to stay in the chat to remind people of like the humanitarian casualties that always get caught up when people decide by money, wealth, power, and how manipulating the systems causes casualties on every other level underneath it. So the issue here is not, me supporting, again, Julian Assange and freedom of speech and journalism, because I've been able to visit the United States for the last 14 years since he has been in jail or in the embassy. So it's not that. So what is different this time I applied? And, what is the difference? You have to use your critical theory mind, put it on, and be like, okay, what happened the last 2 years? That changes the game. on my visa situation. One is I spoke about vaccine, but even after that, they gave me the visa. So I'm going to rule that out. And yeah, I know that. I know who's running the circles, but the point is the circles are run by creating this fake confusion that this is about some sort of like, division. This is a division that was created in 2016 by painting the narrative that I am anti-black, and somehow siding with the wrong people is you being pro-black and for black empowerment, which is not the case. The reason why I became anti-black in this narrative and in the news and in the mainstream is because I stood up against the killing of Colonel Gaddafi, who I don't benefit from. I'm not the family that gained $1 billion from that. So if you want to talk about, black empowerment, there is two types. One is you can say, you can talk about Africa and what happened there, or you can talk about, yes, African American culture. And you know what? Until 2016, when it became fashionable, none of these people were saying that. They were all happy. And even today, the reason why nobody can speak up against the war is because it's not true. This is also what Kanye is saying, that behind that there's another thing. And, I think that's like really important. And they took me fighting for equality and me making records of going to build schools in Africa out of my story so easily and so quickly. They were able to just turn that shit around and keep painting this narrative about my anti-black. So, how do you do that? How am I anti-black if the first thing I did with my money is go build schools in Africa and not even Sri Lanka? So it's a narrative that was specifically painted in 2016 for the rise of whatever this like situation that Kamala Harris and Biden and all of these people were fighting against. It was actually Hillary Clinton that was running at the time, and George Soros. And it's not, yes, you can say, it's about certain narratives have to be built, but they took me out in that process. And they took me out not because I'm a racist white person, or somebody who was anti-black. They took me out because I was a different kind of person talking about oppression. And that narrative is different. I want to say that right is right and wrong is wrong. And, this is about representing all the mums in the world. And I think that sometimes maybe you have to do this in order for them to now it's not about politics. Now it's not about money. It's not about wealth. It's not about power. Like, they have billions of dollars. Everyone's happy. Everyone's wealthy. Everyone's got what they want. Everyone's got the power. Everyone can manipulate news, elections, whatever the outcomes of everything is. Everyone has this. But now it's about a mum and a child. you know, and that is where I am coming from. And when people say to me, hey, why don't you get an immigration lawyer? You know, who's going to help you. I'm finding it difficult to find one. I'm finding it difficult to find one who is not afraid of money and who can make decisions like King Solomon on what is right. Not who has the most money. And that's the difference, because we have let human beings become like this over the last 5 years or 10 years and think it's okay for their behavior to constantly choose and make these decisions, at the same time preaching to us to be better people, be conscious, be environmentally friendly, you know, we must save people, let's vaccinate them like we care. While they're doing this hypocritical bullshit chat, their decisions are 100% always made by money. And this is why, and money and power, and this is why it's important to even educate them. It's even to break through the greed and the ignorance, because, and if I'm using my situation to explore this and explore these ideas, then fine. So, yes, sometimes we need people in these places, whether there's lawyers and immigration people or whatever, who can make decisions based on just people, families, children, mums. So that is why I'm here today. My camera is turned green. Is Matangi moding. Anyway, thank you all for joining, and I want to say that, yes, from personal experience, I can only speak from personal experience, and I'm not guessing things. I've been going through this for 14 years. I think I know what I'm talking about. And yes, on the timeline, the shit that changes is events in history. And, you know, the events that determined what I went through in 2014 are slightly more intense today. But is much more my camera is going, and I'm gonna buy a new phone right now, but the phone that I have is banned. It was banned all over the world because iPhone banned it, so I can't get it fixed anywhere. I am gonna buy an Indian phone and call you back.